Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to bring you a short little video on this excellent knife that I got in this week. So this is actually the first cold steel knife that I've actually had in person or in for sharpening service. I know, it sounds crazy, right? But for whatever reason, I just don't get a lot of cold steel knives. And this was actually the first one that I got. So knew I had to do a video here for you guys and give you my opinions on some things here, about this knife and maybe as, on Cold Steel as a brand, in general. So, this is their Ultimate Hunter, which is a pretty popular knife, I believe, in their lineup. I always love Cold Steel in their marketing, they have really creative, action named, Ultimate Hunter, Tiger Claw, like Recon 1, they always make you, trying to make you feel like more of a badass than you really are by, buying their products. So I always get a little bit of a laugh about Cold Steel products in general. So let's go ahead and take a look at this knife here. So this is a G10 handled lockback knife with Cold Steel's Triad lock, which is, I believe, pretty much the strongest lock in the folding knife industry. I don't know of another lock that's stronger than the Triad lock, but, the whole lock strength thing is pretty overplayed. You really don't need a lock that can hold, 600 pounds of static weight. If you're doing things with your knives that you need to do that, you probably need to change what you're doing with knives, because honestly, no one on this earth needs a knife that can hold 600 pounds of force, considering I'm sure 99.9% of you out there can't even put 600 pounds of force on anything if you tried. So, unless you're some strongman or bodybuilder or something, the majority of us are not going to be able to get close to putting that much amount of force on any particular folding knife or knife in general. So let's, just have some truth here while we're talking about it. So, some more about the knife here. Let's go ahead and get this guy opened up. Really kind of a traditional blade shape here, lots of belly. The blade on this is just about 3 inches. It's not super long. And I believe, this is designed to be basically a folding skinning knife. But, I'm sure a lot of people carry this for EDC and other things like that. But it's kind of a modified spear point blade, I guess you could say there. It's not really it's a little bit of a drop point there, but not really a clip point. But I guess you could say, modified spear / drop spear point blade. But it's very nice, and it's flat ground from just about, 3/4 or so of the blade width up there. You have dual thumb studs, one of which is a little bit wider than the other. You can flip that, ambidextrously based on if you're right or left-handed. So that's pretty nice. Standard lock here on the Triad lock, and it's pretty smooth. It's a little clanky. I'll let you listen to it. But it's not bad, When you disengage the lock bar, though, it does kind of make this clicking sound, which I don't care for too much, but I guess it's not a big deal. Let me see if you guys can hear this. Hear that? So, I don't really know what that's about. Maybe it will break in over time or whatever, but, it's smooth, but it's a lock back. It's not super smooth compared to other locks out there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But nonetheless, it does the job. This knife actually has no liners. It's just pure G10 slabs, which is nice. It keeps the weight down. The weight on this knife is very good. I mean, it's not heavy at all. It feels good in hand, feels balanced. One of the things I noticed about this knife, first off, is this handle is very ergonomic. It's very comfortable. You have, kind of this choil area here and kind of a swell in the back. But really, that keeps your hand, it's very comfortable. You can really bear down on this, and it really just forms to the hand nicely. Little indentation here for your forefinger. As you grip there, you can see your index finger just kind of fits right in there, which is nice. There is some jimping topside here, and it provides a little bit of traction. It's kind of coarse. It doesn't really, lock you in something like a Spyderco knife would, but it's decent, And like I said, overall, the handle on this knife is very comfortable. I really like it. You know, I kind of am trending lately towards handles that are not particularly, I don't know, overly designed, I guess you could say. You know, some companies, you know, they like to really design, you know, the handles and put in all these finger grooves and things like that. And honestly, I'm finding lately that I much prefer just kind of a straight handle with maybe, you know, gradual curve or sweep to it. And that those tend to feel the most comfortable to my hand. I was actually looking at the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 a little bit more in depth lately, just kind of feeling the handle. And I have to say, you know, it has this palm swell, like right in the middle, and I don't really know why they put it there, and I find it to be a little bit uncomfortable. And it's not something I really noticed before, but, you know, after handling some knives with kind of more straight handles, you know, it really got me to thinking that I prefer this design, you know, over, you know, some more, you know, ergonomically designed handles, so to speak. I think in some cases they're just trying a little bit too hard, you know, with their designs, when something kind of more of a, you know, simple, organic shape is maybe the way to go in certain cases. So I don't think I mentioned yet, this blade is in Spyderco's Cold Steel's upgraded CTS XHP steel, which is a carpenter steel. I've heard people say it's kind of like a stainless D2, or maybe even kind of like Carpenter's version of S30V. I have to say, in sharpening, I like the steel. It's not hard to sharpen. It takes a good polish, takes a good edge. I personally don't own any knives in XHP, so I don't have any long-term data on the edge holding or things like that of this steel. But I would imagine it probably performs somewhere around D2 and S30V, which, you know, is... for modern steels today, that's kind of middle of the road. You know, there was a time where S30V was, you know, the bee's knees. It was the greatest thing, best edge holding, but, you know, time has progressed, technology has progressed, and metallurgy has really advanced a lot in the last, you know, 15 years. And I hate to say it now, with things that are out there, S30V is really kind of a middle of the road steel these days. It's really, you know, it's pretty commonplace. But nonetheless, it's a good steel, you know, so you shouldn't feel bad about it or anything like that. But yeah, overall, I really like this knife, guys. I'll show you the thickness there. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Not too thick, not thin, you know, but definitely a pretty sturdy knife. You could probably do a little bit of light prying with this knife and not worry about it too much. The tip there is, you know, fine, but not overly fine, not something like on a paramilitary or military. But I just wanted to show you one last thing here, as I'm kind of jumping from topic to topic. Sorry. If you look here in the choil area, you can see that that last, I don't know, quarter inch or so of the edge is actually not sharpened. There's, you know, where the plunge grind is, right in this area. And honestly, I kind of welcome that instead of manufacturers trying to jam an edge all the way up into this plunge grind, just leave a little bit unsharpened. It's no big deal. You know, it's much easier to sharpen, and, you know, I welcomed that when I was sharpening this knife, because it made it a lot easier and doesn't look like crap. You know, overall, I would say the edge grind on this knife was, you know, it was okay. It needed a little bit of reprofiling on both sides. It wasn't spectacular. I don't know if you guys can see here, if you look at the evenness of these grind lines, they're not quite even. They're a little bit off. The blade shifted a little bit that way, but, you know, for the price that you're paying, I think these are about $100. That's kind of the fit and finish that you'd expect in a knife of this category, so I can't really complain too much about that. Go ahead and show you the edge here, guys, that I put on this knife. Nice mirror polished edge. CTS XHP takes a really nice polish. I like to work with this steel. Nice bevel there, you guys can see. I'll try to get you one more shot. It's always hard to do this on camera, because what I'm seeing is not always what you guys see in the camera, but there you go. I think you guys can get a good shot there. Very nice mirror edge, though. So, overall, I would say this is a really good knife. You know, things that I've heard about Cold Steel, Usually positive things, some negative things, but mostly positive. And I would say, this knife kind of lives up to the reputation that I would expect Cold Steel to have, that, they overall build good knives. They're not fancy, they don't have the best fit and finish, but overall they use, pretty good materials, and they put together a pretty good knife. So I can't argue with that too much. Of course, my dog wants to bark now when I'm doing a video. Molly, hush. So anyways here, let me go ahead and just do a little cut test for you guys as my dog continues to bark. Because you guys like cut test videos, but this knife took a very good edge. Takes a very nice edge. Let's go ahead and see how he did here, shall we? It's very nice. Molly, hush. You're ruining the video, Molly. Very nice. There we go. Very sharp edge. Very sharp. Alright, so there you have it, guys. Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter. Good knife. Sturdy knife. I think it would, definitely hold up for you if you guys needed something a little bit harder use. Takes a nice edge, good edge geometry, and don't think it would let you down. Good value, too, for about $100. So, unfortunately, my dog Molly has cut this video short, so I gotta go tend to her, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are dog owners and can understand. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, please subscribe, send me comments, things like that. If you guys have any questions about sharpening service or anything like that, or just questions in general, I'm happy to answer them and help you guys out any way that I can. So, hope everybody's out there is doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.